My dry cleaner loves me. So it's Tuesday, and it is my favorite day of the week. So let's get this party started. So pull out your phones.
I already did.
Who already did? Who wants to join me in my my selfies? All right, everybody. Say hi. Photo bomber. All right. Where'd I go? All right. So let's talk about important dates, and we have a lot of dates here to talk about. So Simplest is coming to Green Valley tomorrow, or is that today? Is today the 10th? Today's the 10th, isn't it? So Simplest is coming?
No, that's next week. Yeah, no, that's not right.
All right. We need to check the calendar on that one. Drick's Title is coming, though. Right. So Drick's Title is coming tomorrow here, and then the next day, that would be Thursday at Green Valley. So who all was here when Drake's came in and demoed the Alexa app for us? So they're actually coming into the office again. So be here. Really cool app. It does some really cool things, such as it'll write a contract for you, sort of, and it will call and prospect neighborhood for you. So really cool things that it can do for you. Simon Transactions webinar on the 12th. That would be Thursday at 10 a.m. Headshots. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So headshots. Jared, the photographer, is going to Green Valley, and to do your headshots. What's he charging for that? Any idea?
It's $50 and it's a half-hour time slot this time.
$50 for a half-hour time slot. That's pretty good. That's a really good deal. All right. Take pictures. She's like, what does he do in that half hour? Take pictures, yeah. All right. Friday, Coffee with Mark right here. Also Friday, social media with Wendy at Green Valley office. Where's Wendy? There she is. She's going to be teaching about Facebook, Instagram, all sorts of good stuff social media-wise. And then also on Friday is the GLVR General Membership meeting at the Four Seasons, 11 to 5 or something. It includes a CE class. So if you haven't registered and you want to go, make sure that you register for that.
Do we have a table?
Do we have a table? Oh, we always have tables.
4 tables reserved.
4 tables, 4 signature tables reserved. All right? What else? Business Generation Mastermind Monday, and then the mini mastermind in Green Valley. And then next, I'll talk about this a little more, but next Tuesday we have a Buffini Pathway to Mastery informational meeting right here after the sales meeting, but we'll get a little more into that in a little bit. What else? Our anniversary party is coming up. We've been in this office just about a year now, so we figured we need a party, right? Like we need a reason to party. Well, that's the reason we're using this month, and there it is. So, in the 1-year anniversary party on September 24th, 3 to 5, right here. We need you to RSVP, please, to Aaliyah, so we know how much food to get. So Aaliyah at signaturenv.com. Make sure that you RSVP for that. And we're going to be posting that flyer in the Facebook group again. All right, then Buffini. So the actual Buffini Pathway to Mastery starts on October 2nd. So we'll get a little more into that in a little bit. But for right now, we have Citywide.
Happy Friday, everyone. Did I say Friday? What day is it? Holy smokes. Is everybody, yeah, I'm off tomorrow. I just heard my music, sorry. How did it go last week with Wanda and music? Did you do all right? No. No. Sorry, V, sorry. All right, so while I get my slide up here, do me a huge favor. Look over to the person next to you and say, "You are amazing. You are amazing." How many of you have heard of HomeBot, or remember the HomeBot presentation? How many of you are using it? Nobody. How many of you like to get in contact with your past clients? How many of you do that religiously? Automatically? No hands. All right, I'm going to show you this video really, really quick because you guys are amazing.
You are a real estate agent, and you know that staying connected to your past clients is the key to generating new listings and referrals. But how can you compete with the marketing of large portal sites that want to sell your client as a lead to the highest bidder? Introducing HomeBot, a personalized online platform that helps homeowners make educated home wealth decisions, all while positioning you, the real estate agent, top of mind month over month. HomeBot automatically sends your past clients an easy-to-read monthly digest that helps them track their current home value, understand their equity position, calculate their trade-up potential, and much, much more. Once you've uploaded your contacts, HomeBot runs on autopilot, pulling its information from a variety of top data sources and creating a customized digest each month based on your client's specific situation. And while other automated home value portals can take business from you, turning your client into a lead for your competitors, HomeBot makes automated home values work for you, positioning you as the expert and empowering you and your clients to challenge their home value at the right time, leading to a consistent flow of inbound CMA requests that go straight to you. And the best part is, it's not just for past clients. You can use HomeBot to capture new leads and even use it to farm your favorite neighborhoods. Your relationships matter, and that's why each and every HomeBot digest places you front and center, even giving you the ability to be co-sponsored by your favorite lender. Put your relationship building on autopilot with HomeBot, helping homeowners maximize their wealth.
All right, what do you guys think about that? Pretty cool. So the cost is $25 a month. You do have to partner with an amazing lender like Citywide Home Loans. I want to share with you what it looks like when you get into your dashboard. And I actually have a few agents that use this. Linda, Bobby, Tamara, who's in Hawaii right now. And they utilize it for different purposes. So one uses it really heavily for their past clients. Linda, you use it really for buyers as well, right?
Both past clients and buyers.
Both past clients and buyers. And then you can also utilize this to lead gen for yourself. So you can post it onto Facebook or any of your social media sites. So here you'll see every month they'll get a digest, what you saw. It'll show you this information. As the subscriber to this, it's going to show you what my dashboard looks like. So here, past 30 days, 336 digests were sent out, 272 were viewed. So that's 80% pull through in what they're seeing. The biggest thing for me is this. So see how it tells you these buyers are now looking at these emails 2 hours ago? How awesome would it be is as you see that they're getting in there, Ed Cavillo, he's looking at my email right now. If I call him and say, "Hey Ed, I saw that you're looking at my digest. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions about refinancing? Are you looking at values?" Whatever the case may be. That's an opportunity for us to get with our clients, engage with them when they are ready to engage. And they may not be ready to refinance or sell, but at least you're making a point or contact with them. And then as well, you can see how many CMAs. So the one great thing for your clients that are on board right now, they'll request for these CMAs. The cool part about HomeBot is everywhere in their digest, there's so many different areas where they can actually request questions, ask questions, and it comes directly to you. Go ahead, Linda.
Well, just so you know, it's not passive, it's aggressive. In other words, if they're asking for a CMA, I get an email, Shelly gets an email, she's calling me, I'm calling her, we're figuring out what to do, who to call, how to proceed from there. So it really, I've gotten 3 listings since,
Great.
How long has it been?
Maybe not 4 months, I
4
think was the
months.
last.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about this later, actually. At the IOI conference in August in Seattle,
She's not as long as I know, but
You can't hear me? I used to be his teacher. I was actually going to talk about this later, but when I was in Seattle at the IOI conference, HomeBot was presented as one of the top innovators of the year.
I think the biggest thing that I've recognized from it for myself personally is we're always doing things to stay in contact with our customers, right? But the thing that we don't know is when they want us to get in contact with them. So this really is that engine to do it. For whatever reason, whether it's that they're looking to sell, whether they're looking at their home value, whether they need a refinance, they need a home equity line of credit, it's going to show you this information. As a buyer, you can go back in here. You can load your buyers in here. So yesterday we did the prospecting. There were the few calls or leads that came through there. This would be a great opportunity to put those buyers in here. You'll add them in as a new agent or as a new buyer. Puts them in there, gets them set up, and they'll be able to get their own digest, not based on their current home, but based on the market. Right, so if they say they want to live in 89114, this area, they'll be able to see the market information. And it's not 100% accurate, but you don't really want it to be, right? You want them to engage and question the information because you're the experts. We're the experts when it comes to this. Yeah.
So is this a way for, like, you know, the house closed, you have a buyer that's happy, is this a way for them to kind of keep tabs on their value?
For sure. So this is, I put all of my past clients into this as well, as my new buyers that would come in here. But absolutely, your open houses as well. You can pop them in here, whatever it may be. Your clientele this is a great opportunity for them to see what the market looks like.
How easy is it to transfer clients, mass buyers, or listings
Super.
from one?
Great question. Yeah. So they actually.
Repeat the question, Shelley.
So the question was, how easy is it to download? They have a template for either buyers or your past clients. You follow the template, you upload your CSV, and it'll download. Or you can contact our rep, and they'll actually do it for you. Did you do yours yourself, or did?
I did it myself because I wanted it to be more personalized when they went in.
Got it.
I actually hired somebody who just did that for me for about a month.
Perfect. Yeah. So you can, or I mean, otherwise you can have the template. I just loaded it in there. They dropped it in, and it's been going automatically. And honestly, it's like behind the scenes. I get emails. I get the phone calls for CMAs, and it's kept me in contact with my buyers without me really having to do the work on it. We're always wanting to find ways that we stay in contact with them, and this is really it. But the coolest thing was when I noticed the share part as well. So I loaded that onto my Facebook yesterday. You just plug in this link, and you can add it into any of your social media sites. You can also have it as a widget on your websites. And so what will happen is, as anybody goes in there and they put in their information, they plug it in, it automatically feeds into your dashboard. So for buyers, they have their own digest, and then also for listings, yeah.
Can you text out of this too?
You cannot text. Not that I'm aware of, actually. I will double check that because I know that it's pretty innovative, but
You could probably text that link.
yeah, the link. But I don't know that you can text through the website.
Because I was just thinking, you send clients emails, most of them aren't going to open them up, or a lot of them aren't going to open them up.
That's 80% pull through right there.
Oh, I'm sorry?
80%. So I sent them
What
three.
ingenious way, what ingenious way, what are they using for people to open up their emails, like in the subject line?
I think it just actually tells them it's their digest. The ones that I'd seen before was just their digest information. See, I was playing around with this last night. Oh, Myra just viewed hers. I'm gonna call you. Do you want to refinance or sell your house today? So you'll see. Let's see here. I'm gonna go into one of our. The email actually says your monthly digest is here. And they open it up. I think everybody, their sales price is on there as well, or their value of their home is on there as well. Andy?
It's all rates. Does that update current lending rates?
It does. And it's not even, so it's not necessarily our rate, so it gives you a range. So the rate in here was 3.75, and it fluctuates. You can see when it went up and when it came back down. And obviously that's going to be something that they're going to check into with us as well. And again, it gives them every opportunity to ask questions. As they ask questions, that question leads right back to us to answer it for them.
By any chance, does it tell them, is there an equity profile in there?
There
Do
is.
they have to put in the amount that they think they owe, or does that?
it pulls from their assessors. So the one thing is not, like they may have a first and a second, or maybe they refinanced and the reconveyance hasn't happened and updated through the assessors. But that's again, that opportunity for them to say, hey, this isn't right. And so they'll come back to us and say, Shelley, this is not right, can you please double check this information? We update it. From that point on, that digest is gonna show like the loan information as an example, and then it'll just run the automated value mechanism that it has. But yeah, it shows all different things. It'll show like, hey, if you took a home equity line of credit, you need some extra cash, this is what it would look like for you. Yes?
What if a property owner owns multiple homes? Can you add more?
You
properties?
can. Yeah, so you'll just attach property. So I've had a few buyers who've closed a few homes with us, and we just have one profile for them, multiple properties on them. Great question. Any other questions for us? So if you guys would like more information on this, I can do a deep dive in any of the offices for you, as well as get you set up. It's a pretty easy tool to go through, and then we can do a demo for you. But I wanted to make sure that we shared this to you, because it's for $25 a month, and it's automatically sent out for you, and you get 3 listings from it in 3-4 months that we've been working on it. I think it's a worthwhile investment for you. Perfect. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Awesome stuff. Looks like a great value. Slideshow. She'll figure it out.
Okay.
So next up, so Janet was talking about her recently going to a conference, I conference. And so she's going to talk about Janet is the best note taker I know.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of good stuff to talk about at the conference. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I have some more dates for you. The general membership luncheon tomorrow, basically the vendors will be out by 11 o'clock. But now at the Four Seasons, it's valet parking, unless you want to park in the parking garage over at Mandalay Bay and walk over.
Yeah,
And-
it's Friday.
It's Friday, you said.
I said tomorrow, Friday. All right, thank you. Friday. And,
We started, Shelley. Keep our hands going.
Shelley thinks today is Friday.
but anyway, so just keep in mind, valet parking, last time we started about 15 minutes late because valet parking was a mess, and then people were closed out of valet parking and had to go to Mandalay Bay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so tomorrow at Summerlin, we had to move this up a week due to some of our instructors going to Shield Maiden, but tomorrow at 3:30 at the Summerlin office, we're going to have an RPR class, again, complete with libations. So that will be 3:30, but please RSVP with Bobby so we don't buy 1 bottle of wine for 20 people or 20 bottles of wine for 2 people. So, okay, that is tomorrow at 3:30. Also, for those of you that are of that age and you qualify for Medicare, there are major changes coming to Medicare October 1st. And our Sun City office is going to have someone come in and talk about the changes to Medicare October 2nd at 5:30. Please RSVP with Bobby at the Summerlin office, so if you're interested in that. So one thing I want to talk about, starting next Tuesday, there's going to be a new status on MLS. It's coming soon. The MLS committee came up with this status in their infinite wisdom. The verbiage is not exactly what the program's probably going to end up being used for, but these are coming soon listings, CSL. To put it on the MLS in a coming soon listing status, you have to have a signed listing contract. And it has to supposedly be for the reason, oh, my seller needs to make minor repairs, he wants to finish having the house painted before it goes on the market. Now, these listings will be available to all GLVAR agents. You can call, make an appointment to go see them, whatever, but they will not be farmed out to third-party aggregators until they've been coming soon listings for 30 days. Now, at the end of 30 days, it will automatically change to an available listing. But here's the thing, the day you put it on the market is coming soon, starts the day on market count. So, just so you're aware of that.
Say that again?
Days on the market count.
The day you put it on the market in the coming soon
Yes.
stage status, that starts the count for days on market. So if you let it sit there for 30 days, when it automatically then becomes an active listing, the day it becomes active, it's already been on the market for 30 days. So it's a dual-edged sword, so just keep that in mind.
Don't like it.
Well, I don't like it either, but the MLS committee in their infinite wisdom came up with this, and they're a separate board, and we have to respect what they do. Yes.
Can you show it during the 30 days?
Yes, absolutely. It's available to all GLVR agents unless it says in the remarks, no show or don't show. I have suspicions, but I'm really not willing to verbalize those in public. Okay, so moving along.
So, well, let me ask you a question. If they're allowing that, is there an out during the preview time for the seller? What if it gets withdrawn?
I don't know. So what do you mean withdrawn? He put it on the market for 15 days and then he took it off?
I look at it as a ploy for some people to run open houses or do things to try to generate false business or use a home falsely. That's what I'm saying. I just don't like the preview period. Please don't take my picture.
You're right.
But no, I'm just trying to look at it from a practical thing. So, and I'm also looking to wonder if the sellers have an out during that time. Is it going to be like if we have a listing contract, it has a beginning date and an ending date, and if they withdraw, then it's either withdrawal contingent or withdrawal unconditional. Is there a time period for that during that period for? I just don't know.
They can do anything they want. It's on the market. It's just not being farmed out to List Hub and third-party aggregators.
So you have to take a listing contract, correct?
Correct. Take a
Not a
listing.
pre-listing contract.
Not a pre-listing contract. It's a listing contract. That's why the days on market starts the first day.
Okay. Under the old MLS rules, we had to, once we took a contract, we had a time period that it had to be in the MLS. Do those times change?
No. It still has to be in the MLS.
Okay, but they just have the option to put it in as a
Coming soon.
coming soon. Okay.
Be up in all its glory in 30 days. But the agent and the seller also have the ability to say, if it's a legitimate, hey, I had to paint and I had to get the carpet shampooed, so now 10 days later I'm ready to put it back on the market, you can put it back on the market active in 10 days if you want.
I just think there needs to be clarification that, number one, a listing contract has to be taken.
Right.
Those terms apply. That was a little confusing.
Yeah, no, it's not going to go in the MLS as a coming soon if you don't have a signed listing contract. Yes, Christina.
Is it gonna go to clients if there is a search in that area?
Well, it'll be available to MLS, so if you're sending them a search through the MLS, yes. If they're doing their own searches on other third parties' sites, no, it won't show up.
Well, Janet, I don't get the benefit.
What?
The benefit of it, I mean, if people can go see it, what's the difference?
It's not being advertised. It's third party.
Oh, that's the only difference.
Yeah,
Can offers still be submitted in
Yes.
that time period?
yes.
Everything's the same, except it's not being syndicated.
Syndicated.
Right.
That's the word I was searching for. Thank you, Linda. It's not being syndicated for 30 days if you choose to take that option.
Coming soon.
And that starts next Tuesday.
Now, as long as you can take offers and everything, that's actually not a bad idea. It kind of beats out the iBuyers.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing. It gives you 14 days or whatever that those platforms won't pick up on, but my guess is those platforms will figure out a way to pick up on it.
Probably so. Okay, so the IOI conference. And I will tell you that Stefan Swanepoel was there. He was one of the first speakers. Now, if you were going to the MLS Tech Forum, Stefan Swanepoel will be the guest speaker at lunch, and he's famous for his trends and predictions. And if you want to buy his book, it's only $250, so he's worth going to listen. So he identifies a disruptor as someone who is outside the real estate industry. However, he says, trends show that consumers are continuing to stay with the industry and not the disruptors. An innovator is someone who is within your industry, who are innovating new things, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now, the thing is, he said outsiders think real estate is one big conglomerate industry, but it's really not. It's a bunch of separate little mom and pop shops that kind of work together for a common cause. And he was talking about technology, and this is a great quote, and I kind of like this. He emphasized that you need to think of real estate as Marge. And I assume he meant Marge from The Simpsons. And he said, Marge says, technology is a really nice purse that I carry when I'm wearing my good suit. So I love that. So some of the forecasts from Stefan Swanepoel and Brad Inman are that in the next 18 to 24 months, artificial intelligence is going to make the real estate experience more friendly for your customer. And everybody kept using the word experience. If you were at Inman, they talked about the word experience. And Brandon was here last week talking about the word experience. The experience has to be better. But this will be the decade that we do make major changes. They also predicted that within 5 years, Amazon will be the most successful real estate company. So, the next couple of speakers all talked about the need to innovate the experience for the consumer. And they said business exists to serve the customer's needs. And the best way to serve the customer is to listen. So even though this was a technology conference, it was all about technology, and the last I in the IOI conference is investors, and there were a lot of investors there. In fact, I had breakfast one morning, and there were these two guys sitting behind me that I later saw that morning in the conference, and they were talking about the $14 million they had just put up for a new project. So there were a lot of high-end investors. And I don't know if you know this, but you know that real estate is 25% of the gross domestic product? 25%. And even though, again, this was a technology conference, they all said, nothing is ever going to replace the human-to-human connection. You need to think locally, and you need to act locally. So then they talked about the emerging home buyer. Millennials, again, are the largest group of home buyers. The average homeowner is 52. The average first-time buyer is 32. By the year 2025, 57% of Americans will be millennials or younger. 25. They're the first generation to have access to technology since birth. And they are the largest group of homeowners, becoming the largest group of home buyers, but guess where they're getting their down payments from? From mommy and daddy or grandparents. So, then they talked about YouTube videos, and some more interesting statistics were 41% of home buyers, when they started their search, had no idea which realtor they were going to use. So 75% started to search online. 63% of home buyers use a mobile device to search. And they talked about videos on your phone because that's where most of the people are searching. But the average time on your phone to download a video is 15 seconds. The average buyer who's looking for information is gone in 3 seconds if your video has not downloaded. So then they had this thing called the pitch battle. And they brought all these innovators, people within the industry, pitching their product. And it was just like Shark Tank. And then on the front row, they had tables of really investors with a lot of money to spend. And so the people had a time limit to pitch their product, and then the investors would ask them questions. And after everybody presented their presentation, that night, they all got together and decided which one of these products is the best, and that person got a huge check. So number one, this is order of presentation, not winner, was COEO, and COEOspace.com is a new app for commercial agents. Then there was Proxy to help with wire fraud. It keeps everybody in the transaction informed and keeps their visibility listed. Number 3 was HomeBot, one of the innovators that was chosen to present at the IOI conference. Share was another program, and this is co-owning of real estate. And I guess on the East Coast, New York, Chicago, co-owning of real estate is becoming a big thing. Ellie and I can't afford to buy a house, but together we can pool our resources and we can come up with the money for a down payment, and we can come up with the money to make the monthly payment. So what Share does is put people who want to co-own real estate together.
How do you spell that?
I find that very interesting. CHER.
Like share?
Share. 18% of all buyers in 2018 were single women. However, conversely, only 7% of home buyers in 2018 were men.
That means that 9% of them.
Okay, then there was a presentation called Go Figure, and this is a monthly subscription. It's an app, and you go into a house that's basically trashed. It's a real fixer-upper, and your buyer says, oh, what's this going to cost? You can go in and you can put in the things that you need to be repaired or fixed, and it will give you an approximate cost. It's called Go Figure, and you can figure out the app for the cost of fixing up things. There was another program called Reconsortia. This tracks real estate referrals. So if I send a referral to Linda, and she drops the ball on this referral, and now it ends up with Ellie, neither Linda or I are getting any money. So what this is tracks the referral, because referrals represent $20 billion in lost real estate commissions. So just keep that in mind.
How do you spell that one?
Reconsortia. I'll put all this in the newsletter.
Okay.
I'll just list them. Then there was Likely AI, artificial intelligence, and it takes a neighborhood, and based on their parameters and whatever, they will give you, here are the homeowners in this neighborhood who are most likely to put their homes on the market in the next 90 days. And there's been a program around like that for a long time. In fact, I remember when Brandon first started Signature, we were introduced to that program. Yes?
Lively.
It's called Likely.ai. Likely.
Some of the title companies have that
Yeah.
similar program.
And this was presented to us by a lender. There was another one called DIGS. The number one obstacle in home ownership is the down payment, and this collects verified down payment data to let people know where they can get their down payment. Then there was one called Lula Fit. Now, what happens is, in these big apartment complexes that charge a fortune for rent, the main thing is the amenities in the apartment complex. Like, do they have a gym? Do they have a studio? Do they have a dining area? Do they have a this? Well, this company goes into these huge apartment complexes where the property management companies don't want to mess with the amenities, and they manage the amenities. And they'll go in and tell them what amenities they need to add to be able to raise their rents, and that was Lula Fit. Curbio, I talked about this, I think, last week. It's like 71% of all buyers are afraid to buy a house that needs work. And so once you have a listing contract signed and it needs work, you could do a coming soon, and Curbio will go in, figure out how much equity the homeowner is going to have at the end, figure out what needs to be done, and then they will come in and do the renovations in 30 days to increase the value of the home. And then there was another one called Sharing and Design Network, where you may have a bunch of furniture in your garage that you use when you're staging a vacant home, and somebody else may have furniture in their garage that they use when they're staging a vacant home, and this is a shared rental pool of furniture for staging. So this company buys furniture, they store it, and you go, hey, I have a vacant house, I really need to stage it, and you can go in there and rent their furniture. Yes, Christina, you had a question?
About Curbio, the renovation, do sellers need to pay for this renovation?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, I left that part out. So here's the way it works. The renovation is taken out of their proceeds at close of escrow. And Curbio did win the pitch battle as the #1 best innovation of the year. And Brian Copeland, many of you, if you go to a lot of the general membership luncheons or a lot of the CE classes when we bring in guest speakers at GLVR, Brian Copeland has been here a lot. And he said, I have advice for startups and for agents. He said, you should be a painkiller, not a vitamin. But then there was one, Katie Lamb, who talked. She is the author of a book called Get Social Smart. She's got a webcast. She's all over social media. And she talked about, in a relationship with you on your social media, relationships are the king, content is the queen. And even though this is her whole thing, social media, she said, social media never replaces relationships. And I want to say again, even though this was a tech conference, almost every speaker talked about the importance of the person-to-person relationship. And she said, take your relationships offline sometimes. She said, be intentional. Go buy a card, get a pen, get a stamp, and actually put a card in the mail to keep in contact with your really good clients. And so basically, that was 2.5 days, and I just summed it up. The rest of it, there was a whole session on the investors talking about what they look like and what they look for when they're going to invest. And since I don't have $14 million to invest, I didn't take any notes on that session. So, any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Wow, a lot of great information. Ain't she a great note taker? All right, next up, we are going to be talking about the Buffini Pathway to Mastery. I want to ask Madar to come up. So, and we got to keep it real brief so that we can give Jesse some time to speak. So, Pathway to Mastery, it's coming up October 2nd. It will be starting. However, next Tuesday, directly after the sales meeting, there'll be a 1-hour informational meeting on what this is all about. Some of you have gone through the other Buffini program. This is different. I have not been through it. I have not seen it yet. Madar has. and it's supposed to be way better than the other. So Smandar's going to say a few things about it.
So hello again, Buffini, once more, because you haven't heard it enough. Yes, so Buffini for many years had 100 Days to Greatness, and then he revamped it to Peak Producer, which we just did beginning of the year. And now it was time to let that one go away because it was dated. So a new program called Pathway to Mastery, which will be 3 steps. We are doing the essential, which is truly just giving you the basics. It's going back to the basics, and it's shorter. The previous one was long. This one will be 8 weeks. So we're going to do, or Brian himself actually doing a presentation, a whole hour. So right after our sales meeting next week, we're going to do 1 hour, and you can hear Brian, giving his own pitch about what it is those 8 weeks will give you. What I can give you just in
we decided to start at the beginning of October for 2 reasons. First of all, finish the year out strong and set yourself up for a real strong 2020.
Yes, and I will just give you just the highlights of what those weeks are all about. Week 1, talk about the law of the harvest. And it's truly what it is. It's going to teach you how to go back to the basics. Jen was talking about relationship. This is exactly what Brian Buffini is all about relationship, about handwritten notes, about taking your clients' relationship and go deeper. And all these referrals that we're talking about are within your reach. All you're going to learn is how to go and attract it with different activities. So the week 1 is going to truly talk about the law of the harvest, how to go and plant those seeds in order to get those referrals. The second week talks about the stacking effect. So if you know anything about compound effect and how you leverage on the activities that you do and benefit from it. Week 3, working with today's buyers. Week 4 talks about how to sell to a seller. Week 5 talks about the 7 essentials of negotiation. And anything, that is one of my favorite because it really taught me more. And I've been doing Buffini for over six and a half years. The section talks about negotiation, really help you understand the 7 types of negotiator out there. Identify yourself so you can identify who are your buyer, who is your seller, how to really try and take that conversation and be successful in negotiation. So that's my favorite. Week 6 talked about building your business plan and goal setting. This is essential for your success, and that's what we're doing at the end of the year, so you will hit 2020 on the ground running, because you will set goals, and we are here to hold you accountable. We will be pushing you. So the first time, if you took Peak Producer with us, we were very easygoing. I let Mark do it this way. This time, pulling on the guns, and we'll put you to work.
She's going to be the instructor, and I'm going to be the co-instructor. She's a lot meaner than I am.
I don't have any titles.
If you go through this program, there's no way that you cannot get business as a result of it.
Correct. And week 7, we'll talk about that, building your business plan from the financial management. So, yes, we all talk about spending money here, spending money there. If you're very strategic, if you're very intentional, and you know where your money goes, then you know how much to allocate to those activities that this program is asking you to do. Because it's very detail-oriented and money, and you heard me before talking about being on budget and being stingy how you spend your marketing dollars. We talked about that, so I learned it from the pros.
All right, so we got to finish up here.
Yeah.
So next week, next Tuesday, directly after the sales meeting, we're going to have a 1-hour informational meeting. So be here to learn more and to sign up. There is a cost to it. It is $395. We don't get a penny of it. It goes to Buffini. But again, if you go through it, you're going to get business. All right? Next up.
Any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Yep. So next up we have Jesse.
So last week we did the Weekender and we talked about Instagram and some of the things that you could do to grow your Instagram. Well, there were some strategies that I shared, and today I just want to do a follow-up of the Weekender video in the actual steps that you can take to start growing your Instagram. Instagram is the most organic platform right now. You don't get the same type of action on Facebook business pages as you do with an Instagram page. It just seems like you get more attention. There's some posts that are going out. You guys are doing excellent with your content, with how you're sharing videos, how you're showcasing your listings. I do see accounts that have a low count of followers, and in order to get the max exposure, you need to increase that following, okay? So today I'm gonna share 2 strategies that work. Before we start, it's good to understand the Instagram rate limit. And I share this because I went over the rate limit and I got my account blocked. It's been like 2 months. So when it comes to likes on Instagram, you can do up to 900 in a day. I know you guys have a lot of time to do that. Up to 350 follows per day, and up to 220 unfollows per day. Okay? So what does that mean? If you do anything in excess, you will get blocked by Instagram. And I've experienced that. So the follow-unfollow strategy. When you start focusing more on getting either more buyers or working with sellers, you gotta go where the audience is. I suggest that you start following at least one popular company on Instagram and just go after their followers. This is a good one to follow. Why is it a good account to follow? Well, it's because the people that are following Lennar Las Vegas seem to be in the mindset of either buying, selling their home, or maybe they wish they could own a home. So that's a good one to follow. Lennar Las Vegas on Instagram. If you look at their posts, Lennar seems to do a really good job with how they market their properties. And like for example, this post is September 1. It has 151 likes. So one of the things that you would do is the next one you should follow too is KB Homes Las Vegas. Okay, so KB Homes Las Vegas doesn't do so well on social media like Lennar Las Vegas, but they do have followers as well, and they are following several accounts. So what you would do is you would start following the followers of KB Homes.
How did you get to that, Jesse? How do you get to their followers?
So if you go to the account, you click on the account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just went to there.
Yeah, do a search.
Yeah.
So you're gonna type in on the search bar of your mobile device, Lennar Las Vegas or KB Homes.
Yeah, mine too.
Mine worked.
You can't follow them? Oh, you must be.
Too many.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
you
were
just click on
blocked
the
from
followers.
KB.
You can't follow them?
No, it says blocked from KB.
Oh.
That's because you know Jesse.
Yeah, it's because we're sitting here. It's contagious.
Are you logged as a business account on your Insta? I'm not.
Do you do it as personal or business? Does it matter?
I did it with my business
I think
account.
they're blocking the business accounts and not the ones that aren't.
Oh, really?
that are personal.
That makes sense.
I just-
Yeah. Well, I followed it with my business account. Like if you go to KB Homes, try KB Homes.
I'm in. I think it's personal.
Yours is personal, Shirley? So yours allowed you to do it? Okay. So I guess if you have a personal account and you try to follow the followers of certain accounts, not everybody's doing this. Like if you click on KB Homes Las Vegas, they'll allow you to just follow their people. Okay. Yeah. What's that? It let you do it? It let me do it this morning too. Yeah. Don't know what's going on. I'll look into that. But the strategy is that you just follow each account. Like for example, I would follow accounts that have a photo on it. because the ones with a photo are more likely to follow you back and actually pay attention to your post. So let's say that you were to click on Carl Yabist, whatever, and hit follow. A good strategy would be to click on his profile, follow, like at least 3 pictures on his account, and then maybe send him a message, introduce yourself. Maybe something you could pre-write, saying, hey, I'm a local realtor and I help many find homes and here in the area. And then share your website, or maybe ask, hey, can you follow me back? Do something like that. But you gotta follow, you go down the list. You could follow Jessica Hellenbeck too, she's on there too. Okay. Other accounts to follow that have worked well for me in other platforms is following fortune builders. Does anybody know who fortune builders is? No. They're investors around the country. They probably have the largest investor membership in the US. The other one is Bigger Pockets. So Bigger Pockets is actually a podcast, and it's an investor forum as well. So following accounts like this puts you in front of people that are more likely to want to perform a real estate transaction with you. Does this all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got lost.
It's blocking us on all sorts of.
Are you?
I think there's too many people in one area, maybe.
Yeah. So do this, because a lot of these screenshots too, I took them with my desktop. So for me, I'm blocked with mobile, but when I go on desktop, I'm able to do. You just go to Instagram.com.
I didn't think you
Yeah.
could.
You could only comment and like and follow. You can't upload anything. Yeah. Okay, so fortune builders, Bigger Pockets, do the same thing. Follow their followers. What to do daily. And I just thought that was a weird picture, so I uploaded that. Follow at least 20 accounts per day, minimum. Minimum at least 20 a day. You gotta put some effort. 20 is not a lot. You could probably do that in a minute. Like at least 3 to 5 photos from each profile. And what that will cause, it'll cause a burst in the notifications area. It'll show Ellie is following Bigger Pockets, and he also liked these 3 photos. So it'll just cause his name to show up more on the feed, and that'll help you increase your following. Okay, the next one. If you see a photo or any post in their profile, comment with intent. Okay. I noticed that the comments that have more detail to it tend to do better than just hitting like or putting some emojis. Because think about it, if you can fill up that gap between comments and yours has more detail, it's just going to draw interest to your account. Okay. Send a chat to introduce yourself. These are things that you should be doing during the day. This is your prospecting on Instagram. It'll help you get more followers. Any questions on this? Okay. Ways to follow using the follow-unfollow strategy. You can follow by the account name. Okay. You can follow builders, you could follow local restaurants, you could follow people, maybe local celebrities here in the city, follow stores, news stations, etc. You get creative with it. You could follow by location. If you go on your mobile device and you hit the search screen, it gives you the ability to search by account, tags, and places.
The other thing I've noticed too is that if you use different hashtags every day, you're going to gain more followers because they search other hashtags as well. When you're doing postings, be creative with your postings. Don't just always do real estate things. Do other, creative things like that of where you're at, what you're doing, because the different hashtags will create other people to follow you because other people will see what you're hashtagging. So be creative with your hashtags.
I've even done a search for I want to move to Las Vegas. I write a sentence and it'll bring up people that type that sentence in their post. Yeah, it's really cool. Or you could use hashtags. It'll bring up the profiles. And then what you do is you just follow them, you like their photos, you send them a message, and that's how you begin your strategy there. And then there's the $1.80 strategy, which means give your 2 cents 90 times a day on the feed. So that's actually a Gary Vee strategy, and he talks about being intentional on your feed. So if you're following one of the feeds, let's say Las Vegas homes, and it's bringing up posts from maybe somebody is looking for a Las Vegas home, whatever, you would comment on that. If you're following Golden Knights, or if you're following any feed, because you could actually create your own feeds out of the hashtags that you follow. So you would check in every day and just start engaging. Send messages. Send your business card. Take a photo of your business card and send it through chat. Like, you never know, it may work. So that's another thing is when you do your post, this is an old slide, but make sure that you include photo, video, description, tag somebody, add a location, and like Kelly was sharing, add relevant hashtags and get creative. And that's it for today.
That's great.
As always, great information. Thank you, Jesse. All right. We need to do the giveaway. Hope everyone. Oh, that's right. All right. So first.